Good to be back with you guys. I was listening to a lot of people talk about some things, and you know how you always hear in the background people are talking about a subject that you're interested in, and you just you'd like to get involved, but you know better because you're just going to get overly emotionally involved in it. But the story basically was that, well, I guess that crypto thing was fun while it lasted, but huh? That's terrible. All those people lost all that money, and it's all gone, and cryptos are done. But anyway, that was the sentiment, if you will, on the discussion that day on the boat. I it made me. I was driving home, and you know how sometimes you do your best thinking either in the shower or in the boat, or on the boat, or driving home in a car. You know that free time that you have, or out in nature, often happens with me. I came up with this analogy about value, and it's an analogy. None of them are perfect. It's just kind of my way of looking at it, and it's kind of a different twist on something maybe you've heard, maybe you haven't before. So it's car racing and Bitcoin. And you say, how can that work out? Oh, I got to stick around to hear that. Okay. Car racing, we don't just follow. I'm not really a big car race guy, but it's an analogy. Stick with it. Let's go Formula One or stock car, whatever side of the planet you're on. It's not just about who won the race, right? It's okay. Maybe Bitcoin's way down, and maybe it's in 30th place. Maybe it is. But is that the only value? The only value we get from auto racing in general is the winners? Is that all the value we've ever gained from the entire industry of Formula One or stock car? No, it's not. I mean, I just jotted down a couple of things here. The speed. I mean, look, cars would still probably be horse and buggy speed if it weren't for race cars. So think of the speed of Bitcoin. Will always be increasing. Efficiency, aerodynamics, safety, seat belts came from auto racing. What is safe about Bitcoin? Its immutability, its ability to not be controlled by man or government. That's pretty neat. That's nice stuff. That's between you and wherever you're driving. You have your own safety, your own seatbelt. Bitcoin is your seatbelt. There's speed to let's go back to efficiency. Think about how fast these cars go, but yet they have to be efficient, right? Because they can't have these giant fuel tanks. It'd be too much weight. They'd have to go to the pit stops more often. So they have this balance, this check and balance that keeps it efficient, as does Bitcoin. Bitcoin's blocks, its hash rate becomes, or its hash equations that have to be crushed, or the puzzle mathematic equation has to be solved to serve the next 10-minute block, has to be regulated. If there's not enough people mining it, the hash gets easier. The equation, the questions, or the mathematical questions or calculations become easier and easier and easier. It's just an analogy, and they're not perfect, obviously, but it's something, food for thought. The chickens are going crazy. I'm sorry about it again. But one day I'm going to make videos and there's not going to be any chicken noise. And then I'm going to get comments down below that say, what happened to all the chickens? But anyway, that won't be in today's video, clearly. So the speed of transactions will only get better. Its security is amazing. Its efficiency is amazing. It's it's embarrassing, the US dollar digit. Think about that. It's a better currency, you know? It's not a currency. I know it's a storage of wealth, but it's already better than the dollar or any fiat currency for that matter. It's just, there's no competition. If this were a racetrack, it would be doing laps around the fiat dollars, currencies around the world. It's so much more efficient and effective and secure. And it writes its own contract. Every time you transact in Bitcoin, you have a contract from the sender, okay, and receiver. And they have a written agreement, not written, but calculated agreement when it lands. There's no disputing the whole thing. It's pretty neat. And it's funny to me that people only equate Bitcoin to the winners and losers. Oh, they lost. Oh, those poor guys. Just think of all those people. They're losers. Well, the winners are going to be the people that end up with Bitcoin. I think that's clearly that writing's on the wall, and it's not just written in light pencil. That's etched in stone, and whoever has that, those Bitcoins, those Satoshis, in the long run, are going to have something that is of immense value. And when the Fed's doing everything it can to crush rates and crush all the currencies around the world, and the US dollar keeps climbing up, people compare their Bitcoin to dollar. Well, everybody else's, all the other currencies are ridiculously close to all-time highs in Bitcoin. Look that up, right? I think I've mentioned that before. It's why is it only the dollar that Bitcoin gets crushed in? It's a little fishy, that one. But, it's happening to all the other currencies. Everything that is not a US dollar is getting crushed, okay? Including Bitcoin, including Ethereum, including XRP. All of these currencies, cryptocurrencies, gold, silver, all of them are being devalued. No. Are they being devalued? No. You're being told, you're being misled that the value of Bitcoin is going down. No. That's a retail price. That's not its value to mankind. That's not a value to its honesty. It's value to the future of transaction, or the storage of your wealth, or the storage of your hard-earned hours of employment can be stored in this perfect manner. Not completely perfect in the sense that it does. Obviously, Bitcoin has a little bit of inflation, but it's diminishing every 4 years by half. Less and less inflation as time goes by. Wouldn't you rather have that? Or would you rather have one that you know is always going to inflate? And I know what they're doing right now, of course. We hear it every day. Oh, well, no, they're not printing money, and they're not creating money, and they're, raising interest rates, and they're tightening the belts, and are the governments going to quit spending money they don't have? Ask yourself that. Are the governments around the world, just since they have this free piggy bank that they get to just create digits from nothing, are they going to just simply not do that anymore because it's, well, not ethical? That's hilarious. That leads me to, no, I'm not going to even tell that story. Yeah, why not? Throw it out there, Alan, and bring the personal life into this. I was once told by a gal I used to be involved in, and she was sort of walking out the door, and she said to me this one time. She said, "You know, Alan, you're not funny." And I thought about it. I was like, well, she's probably right about that. Um, Nobody thinks you're funny. I thought back. I'm like, nah, actually, I'm not a comedian. She's probably right about that too. Where's she going with this? Only you think you're funny, Alan. Now that made me laugh. And I was like, yes, I do make myself laugh all the time. Thank God, right? If you make yourself laugh, that means you might like yourself. I think that's pretty good, you know, thing to have. Shouldn't you want to like yourself? Shouldn't you like what you see in the mirror in the morning? In fact, that's a little tip for everybody out there. When you wake up tomorrow morning, do yourself a favor. Look in the mirror, look right into your eyes, and tell yourself how much you appreciate how hard you work for you, how much you care about you, your family, the people around you, how hard you work for all that, how much you care about the world. So much of our turmoil is because you care so much. All right, guys. Try it. Try it every day. Tell yourself how beautiful you are, because you are. I know who you all are on the inside, all of you, and it's magical. It's why we're here. It's the beauty of why we're here. All right, guys. That's my quick little racing Bitcoin analogy. Hope you got something from it, and I will be back soon. On that, I'm out, guys. Well, I promised that would be shorter, and clearly that wasn't short.